All right, so now we're going to take a look at my second body paragraph here. We're going to notice that it follows the same structure as my first, but it's focusing on a different supporting idea, and it provides two brand new pieces of evidence specific to that supporting idea. Let's check it out. The second reason why Zeus was the most important god to ancient Greek culture, notice that this seems redundant, but I'm going to drive home my argument as much as I can in my writing. If my reader is not guessing what I'm arguing or how my points connect, you've constructed a great essay. So let's look. The second reason why Zeus was the most important god to ancient Greek culture is because he was the father of many prominent mythological figures. Notice that this is in blue because this is my second supporting idea. It occurred second in the list of supporting ideas found in my thesis statement. Now time to give some evidence. For example, Zeus was the father of Athena, quote, the goddess of war, handicraft, and practical reason, who, quote, was the daughter of Zeus, produced without a mother, so that she emerged full-grown from his forehead. All right, so now I need to show that this quote proves that Zeus was the father of many prominent mythological figures. This illustrates that Zeus was the father of many prominent mythological figures because Athena was a very important goddess to the Greeks and was even the patron god of the prominent city of Athens. All right, well, that's a pretty good point, right? I mean, they named a city after her, and it was one of the most famous Greek cities. Now, I need to talk about how this ties back to my main argument that this would have made him one of the most important god, or the most important god to ancient Greek culture. This example fits my claim that Zeus was the most important god to ancient Greek culture because without him, even the gods who were considered to be very important, like Athena, would not exist. So, without Zeus, you don't get the pantheon, much of the pantheon. Zeus, there's a handful of others, and therefore he's really important. All right. So, notice that in this particular example, I chose to think about another god who Zeus was responsible for fathering. But the cool thing that we know about Greek mythology is that Zeus was the father of many, many other mythological figures. And so maybe instead of diving into a god, I'll dive into a hero, right? So, or another very famous figure. In addition to this, Zeus was also the father of Persephone, the, quote, wife of Hades, king of the underworld, who, quote, spent 4 months of each year in the underworld, which no doubt meant to account for the barren appearance of the Greek fields in summer. Oh, all right. So now I need to explain how Zeus being a father of Persephone makes him super important. This illustrates that Zeus was the father of many prominent mythological figures because Persephone was the queen of the underworld, pretty prominent, whose absence from the living world was considered the explanation for winter, also pretty important. So here you have something that's based like story and also a story that talks about an actual occurrence, which is the coming of winter, that the Greeks would have wondered about. Okay, and we know that myths try to explain the natural world, things that the ancient Greeks wouldn't have understood. So here we see that Zeus being the father of Persephone is an example of him being the father of a prominent figure because she is both the queen of the underworld and the reason for winter. This example fits my claim that Zeus was the most important god to ancient Greek culture because, as Zeus's daughter, Persephone's importance as both the queen of the underworld and the source of the winter months informs Zeus' importance to the Greek world. Well, these are important things, and she's Zeus's daughter, which makes Zeus important. Zeus was the most important god to ancient Greek culture because he was the father of many prominent mythological figures. So notice that in this paragraph, I'm saying that Zeus was the most important god to ancient Greek culture because he was the father of many prominent mythological figures. I provided textual evidence which proved he was the father of many prominent mythological figures. And then I explained how him being the father of many prominent mythological figures shows that he is one of the most important gods to ancient Greek culture. Next, we'll take a look at my third and final body paragraph. Once again, we're going to notice how the structure remains the same, but the particular supporting idea and evidence I provide for that supporting idea changes. So, stay tuned.